everyone, in this video we're going to do an application and wear test of a brand new drugstore concealer. It is from Revlon in their ColorStay line. It is called the Flex Wear Full Cover Concealer, and this is what it looks like. Make sure you always check the description box for where you can purchase this currently if you are interested. Because it's so new right now, the only places I see online that you can purchase it are through Amazon and Walmart, but I do always include an affiliate link in the description box or in the products tag that pops up to where you can conveniently find it for purchase. It retails for in the ballpark of about $13. That will depend on and vary depending on where you purchase it from. If you're not a subscriber already, I would really appreciate if you subscribed and give the video a thumbs up. You can also go follow over on Instagram. There are so many drugstore reviews that I am doing lately. This always happens at the end / beginning of the year, so make sure you stay tuned, check those out if you haven't already. Okay, so the color that I will be testing in this video is 26 Creme Brulee. That's what it looks like. As you can see, it is a pretty large sized tube. It is clear plastic at the bottom, so you can see what the color looks like in the tube. It comes out as a big doe foot applicator, and for the price you're going to get 0.34 fluid ounces or 10 milliliters of product. Let's dive further into the claims for what kind of concealer this is and what you should expect from it so we can make sure we test those out. Actually, it looks so new that I don't see it yet available on Walmart either. The only place that I see it actually in stock to be sold is Amazon for now. The description says, "Don't flake it, flex it. Revlon ColorStay Flex Wear Full Cover Concealer with AdaptiFlex technology delivers 100% full coverage finish that's comfortable and breathable, with hyaluronic acid to hydrate and help moisturize, plus vitamin E to nourish skin as it conceals, non-creasing, non-drying feel, 24-hour wear," a claim that I will never test out because I think it's ridiculous to try to wear makeup for 24 hours. It says available in 16 lasting shades. So the callouts are 100% full coverage, concealing imperfections, redness, dark circles, that flexible technology that helps it to be non-creasing and non-drying, transfer resistant, fade resistant, formulated with clay to smooth and prime, plus those other ingredients that we shouted out. And when you take a look at the full ingredients list, you have some of that dimethicone, which we would expect, the ingredients that they already called out. There is alcohol in here, which probably helps the kind of sticking, staying power of the formula, but on the other hand, can also be drying to the skin, so just be aware of that. And thankfully, no perfume in here or fragrance. Okay, now that we know what we are hoping it's supposed to do, let's go ahead. I'll go to a more bare face and we can see how it applies in real time. We're gonna go ahead and apply the concealer, focusing mainly on the under eyes. So just to remind you, if I haven't said it already, this is the shade 026 Creme Brulee. I have applied foundation over my skincare, but in terms of skin products, that is all. So there's your large doe foot applicator there. Just gonna dab it in the inner corner right there. We'll do one side at a time so we can compare. Go in initially with a sponge. And then my finger, help warm it up. Okay, so you can see there is a difference between this side and that side. Just put it in the inner corner. I'm gonna build it up a little bit. And then whatever's left I tend to put on the rest of the under eye area, but I really concentrated in this inner corner. This is a very close match to my natural skin tone. I go back and forth, but I've kind of come away a little bit at least from doing a super bright, much lighter shade under the eye, just because that looks a natural. So here's the side that I put the concealer on. I definitely still see under eye darkness, but you can compare to this side, it's definitely reduced. It's not as full coverage as I was sort of expecting, but at the same time, it's blending really nicely. It has a creamy texture. Okay, so here's up close, the side where it's applied. And maybe if I chose a lighter shade, it would brighten this area a little more. There's nothing underneath this eye. You can definitely see that darkness being covered on this side. Yeah, and from far away, you can see this side looks much less sunken than this side does. So I'm gonna go ahead and do both sides here. Okay, so there's both sides done. I like the way it looks on the skin because it, at least so far on initial application, is not making that under eye area look dry, flaky, or enhanced, which I find happens with a lot of concealers, especially as my skin is getting older, it has more fine lines, and that under eye area looks really dry very easily. I do have this small red blemish on my cheek, so let's go ahead and apply there. I'm gonna use a small concealer brush to tap that out. Yeah, this is a really good color match. That took a lot of the redness away on that. All right, I'm gonna let the concealer sit. I'm gonna pay particular attention to how it wears under the eyes throughout the day and see if any sort of dryness or crepiness develops. If you haven't watched it already, or maybe it will be put up after this video, I'm not sure, make sure you see my review of the newest L'Oreal Panorama mascara from their Voluminous line. I'll be applying and reviewing that, and also the new line of Maybelline Lifter Plump glosses, the ones that have that chili powder in them or chili pepper in them to make your lips plump up. If they're already up, I'll link them in the upper right hand corner, and if not, just keep an eye out. Okay, so there is the full face done, and the under eyes look exactly the same. I don't see any creasing, emphasizing, or sinking into lines. Looks fantastic. For skincare, hydration, vitamin C, those are the things that, well, vitamin C I use all year round, but a couple of new products from Herbivore. They always have the most fun packaging. The Nova line is vitamin C focused and comes in this bright yellow packaging. So the Nova 15% vitamin C plus turmeric brightening serum is something that is nice for all over the skin. I also really appreciate that these do not have added fragrance in them. They are both glass bottles, which is great. And then the under eye, this is the Supernova 5% vitamin C plus caffeine brightening eye cream. And this really helps, especially when you are going to be applying more under eye concealer, really making sure that that area is brightened and also really moisturized and hydrated really helps the appearance of any concealer that you put in that area. Because these do have turmeric in them, they are slightly yellow toned, and there is the most faint smell, if you know what turmeric smells like, the most faint smell of turmeric in them, but it's very slight, and otherwise there isn't a fragrance that I pick up on these. And then on my lips, I am wearing one of Bobbi Brown's crushed oil infused glosses. I actually have several shades of this. The one I'm wearing in this video is, you can see that's the packaging. The shade is called Free Spirit. These are the most beautiful kind of higher end glosses with this flush of color. They're so super hydrating and leave the lips protected. So I think it's a beautiful, very universal color that pretty much anyone can wear. So that's what's on my lips. So yeah, I will check back in with you. We'll see how the under eye concealer wears and develops throughout the day. Oh, actually, before I leave you, because I powdered and put on the smallest amount of blush, the concealer picked up on that blemish that I have on the cheek. So I'm gonna reapply so that we can also see how that wears throughout the day. Just dabbing it on with that concealer brush. Okay. All right, I'll see you at the end of the day. All right, folks, we are at the end of our testing, and I have to say it holds up very nicely. It is a little bit of a more textured appearance, but it's very slight. Some fine lines underneath here are just ever so slightly emphasized, but you'd have to come up close to and really be looking for some sort of difference to see that. So I think it has worn really nicely. Here is that covered blemish on the side there. I've done no sort of like touching up or anything like that after the last shot. So I am actually quite a fan of this formulation. Always as a base, make sure that your skincare is spot on. That will be really helpful. But I do kind of agree that it's a nice, seemingly more hydrating, quote unquote, flexible formula. The one thing that I will disagree with the claims on is that it's full coverage. I really don't think it is. I think it is good coverage, and honestly, it's kind of hard for something. The more full coverage something is, the harder it is to make it look seamless and natural with the skin. So I just think overall it is a really nice formulation to consider if you're right now in the market for restocking on some concealers. Let me know what you think if you have tried this also. Any questions you have, I'm happy to try to answer in the comment section below. Please give the video a thumbs up if you have some time and enjoyed it. As always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch, and I'll see you in the next one.